Good afternoon, everybody. A wonderful, wonderful, and a pleasant afternoon to everybody. All right, so today is marked as International Men's Day. This was coined or inaugurated, on November 19, 1999 in Trinidad and Tobago by Dr. Jerome T. Luxing. He chose this date to honor his father's birthday and celebrate men's contribution to society. You know, the significance of it is to address stigmas around men's mental health, because there are quite a number of men. I mean, in comparison to between the two sexes, male and female, you find that you have more mentally challenged, I don't like to say mad, but mentally challenged. Let's work with mentally challenged men than women. If you check the what you call those places, okay. But you see, when you practice to use jargons or fads, you can never remember it, but those mental health institutions, like you'd have Ward 21 or Bellevue, you realize that there are far more men than women. And it goes back to how, men are physically stronger, women are, more psychologically and emotionally stronger, tougher. That's why we're able to withstand some of the things that we go through as women. But, the significance of the International Men's Day, I really appreciated that. To, as I said, address stigmas around men's mental health, acknowledge challenges like high male suicide rates. Let me tell you, man, between the two, again, you have more men committing suicide than women. Societal pressures and workplace risks. Somebody was sharing with me, a man was sharing with me that almost everything nowadays is going to be considered sexual harassment. So if a man pays a woman a compliment, I said that is ridiculous, because the nature of a man is a hunter. So how would he get his spouse if he doesn't pay some compliment, if he doesn't approach her? I think it's the tone behind it. If there is emotive reason, or there's something that is sinister or malevolent, and we women generally detect it. I wouldn't say always, but generally detect when something is off. But compliments are made to be given, even between the two, the same genders, like woman to woman, man to man, in a healthy, professional, non-sexual way. We do expect that. That does help with longevity. Encouraging men to speak out about issues and seek help when needed. And we live in an era where men cannot be men. They cannot express emotions. They're not allowed, and I use the word loosely when I say they're not allowed. I'm not, they're not allowed, in quotations, to express any other emotion except maybe a sexual emotion if they're having sex with a woman, or anger. It's almost like they can't be sad. They can't cry. Oh God. If you see a man bawl, I don't like see men crying, it breaks my heart. I'm going to start crying because it's unusual to see it, and especially when it's meaningful. We're not talking crocodile, alligator tears. We're talking real tears, and we want to, I know that we live in a world where, and it's toxic culture in a sense, but it has merit, where, they say that black men are damaged, black men are not good, and in some sense it is unfair, because one, we still have to remember the effects of slavery. It is still systemic. So you will find that, because of the segregation that was actually created, men, unfortunately, will, if they're in a family relationship, and in some cases they and the woman split, they split with the child, unfortunately, because they say, all right, I can't have the woman, I don't need any communication with the child as well. That's an unfortunate situation in some men. I listened to a young guy say, man said, once I'm done with the woman, I'm done with the child. Doesn't matter if it's my child, yes or no. It was sad. It was heartbreaking hearing that. But that has to do with some of the mental challenges, because you cannot be a full-bred man in your right mind with your emotions, fully charged, and to make comments like that. I literally heard a man say that they spoke with men, and we see it in the society. We have more matriarchal headed homes. In other words, women being the single parent, and women obviously being the head of the homes. And it is an unfortunate it is an unfortunate and a sad, very, very sad reality that some men take that stance that if I'm no longer with a woman, I'm no longer with the child in a father-daughter, father-son manner. But, you know, with all of the different challenges that men face, and perhaps that contributes to a sense of misogyny. I know people will say that, you know, because the men are really attracted to other men, why they're treating women bad. Not necessarily, have to be careful of that. That is a part of it, but maybe at the bottom, the misogyny can also come because of overbearing women who are controlling in every way, in every form, and in every fashion, women who disrespect and dishonor men, women who criticize men and compare them with other men, you know, wives who frequently withhold sex from the man. So all of that will breed negative emotions, you know, so they will develop a sense of disgust, but it doesn't mean that sexually they're not attracted to the woman. That is why a man can just finish beating a woman and then, you know, emotions, they cross over into the other. So you can be happy, you hear a bad news, you start crying same time. You hear something good, you get happy again. Something to irritate you or make you feel incensed, you get angry. And then all of that can turn out into a sexual, you know, thrill. Almost, because the emotions are interlocked, they're almost intertwined. You know, it speaks to the soul man of the woman or the soul man of the man, so to speak. So what ends up happening is that because men can't express, and I use the word can't loosely, you know, it's not that they literally cannot, you know, or they're prevented, but you know what I'm saying, because of societal pressures and stigmas associated with men crying or showing more feminine, getting in touch with their feminine side. I'm not saying effeminate, that's different. I'm talking about what you associate more with the X chromosome, you know, as opposed to the Y, the estrogen as opposed to testosterone sort of a thing, right? And because of those pressures, it is a lot for a human being to deal with. Men cannot even, and that is why they will go to another man and say, why? May I tell you, they can confide in each other, and sometimes women will misunderstand it. You know, they have that intimacy between men, which is not sexual. Intimacy doesn't only mean sexual or sensual. It means I can have a deep and an abiding conversation with my male friend. When I say to the woman, she laughs, she mocks, and men don't like that. And a lot of men are suffering in silence, just as how you have women who are suffering. But today is International Men's Day, so I want to deal with our men. Men, you are important. Because of a man, I am here today. It's not just the woman. Because of a male one, I am here today. We are all here today because of a male one as well, not just the female one. So you contribute to us being here. One of the things that I want to tell men is that, listen, you know why God made you the head? There is something that God has inbuilt inside of you where you help that female, even your male, let us say your children, whether it's a female child or a male child, to have self-confidence. Yes, because you're the provider and the protector away from God. We're talking, you know, on an earthly sense. There is a sense of self and worth that you help that child. When you see people suffering from low self-esteem and lacking self-confidence, check it. Generally speaking, there was not an effective father in the home. So either a father was not in the home and an effective one. You see how brilliantly God has made you men? How necessary you are? Not just putting a penis in the vagina and releasing when the pressure builds. But you build that confidence. There is something very, I'm enamored and I'm so enthralled when men protect us. When you see that masculine, that testosterone get out, you know, like a lion on the hunt. And you protect us and you provide for us. Let me tell you, no matter how wealthy a woman is, listen. You see, when a man takes care of that woman financially, oh God, men, you wouldn't understand. We love it. We love it. Yes, we love to spend your own money. It doesn't mean that we are unambitious or we don't want to work. I think men are more driven to work than women. We have to put ourselves, we have to go into a different mode. We love to be taken care of by you. That's how special and precious you are. It's not about gold digging or just getting money. But I'm saying when you build self-confidence, it's like you've given a woman millions and billions of dollars. So happy International Day to you men, to the wonderful men. May God continue to bless you and keep you with his richest, choicest, finest, wisest, highest and best. For those who are lacking greatly, I pray that God will impart all of these things in you. Guys, thank you. Subscribe to my channel. I need a lion from one now, man. Need